Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. So today, I have the opportunity to tell you about working with national retailers. Of course, there's three factors you have to consider if you're interested in working with national retailers, or if you're a national retailer, what you have to look at in products and brands you bring into your stores. So those three factors are going to be regulatory, product differentiation, and advertisement. All pretty difficult. Regulatory not so much because it's pretty clear. So why am I telling you about this? What do I bring to the table? So I run Myaderm. I'm a founder and the CEO. And for years, we've been sold through national retailers like GNC, Dick's Sporting Goods, Golf Galaxy, stores owned by Rite Aid, 7-Eleven, Love's Convenience Stores. So we've seen a lot of different channels and sold through at a national level. We're actually the first brand to be sold nationwide, coast to coast, in a single retailer. So we've seen a lot. So I'm here to share what we've seen, and maybe you can gain some insights if you're interested in the national space and working on that level. So the first thing we need to address is regulatory. Fortunately, it's pretty clear right now. If you're going to sell at the national level, you can only sell topicals. So topicals are allowed by the FDA. They have to meet cosmetic standards, so that's manufacturing standards and labeling standards. So all packaging has to meet those standards. Ingested products are not sold at a national level because technically they're not allowed by the FDA, but obviously that's not enforced. Do not ask me why. I have no idea what's going on in the FDA. All I know is if you want to sell to national retailers, they're very sensitive to that and will only carry, for the most part, topical products. You may see a retailer here and there go rogue, but day in, day out, only topical products. So the second thing you need to consider is product, and not just regular product, Me Too product, but you have to have brilliant product. So what does that mean? It means product that is effective, that does something, and does not have menthol, camphor, arnica, lidocaine, any other active ingredient in it. So having spoke with dozens and dozens of buyers post-COVID, their biggest issue is the fact that most of the brands out there in the topical space are using other ingredients to get the job done. Menthol being one of the most popular. So what you're seeing is a lot of products that have oily balms, salves, that are menthol based, 10-15%, and some CBD sprinkled in. What are you buying? Icy hot, basically what you're buying. It's an effective ingredient. Menthol works, so if you have aches and pains, it's going to help with that. But what happened was buyers across the board brought these products in and they all got burned. So you walk into Walgreens today and you talk to their buyers, they're not really interested in CBD that much. They know they have to carry it, but they are really pushing out the process because they have to get past the fact that they lost a lot of money trying to sell icy hot like products for 50, 60, 80 bucks when you can buy icy hot for 11 bucks over here. So that was a big pushback. So when you look at going into this type of environment, you have to have product that the CBD is doing the work. Whether that's for aches and pains, whether that's for skincare, wherever that is. If you're going to succeed as a brand or even as a retailer, your products have to have CBD doing something. And if there is another ingredient, it has to be collaborative with the ingredient, not hiding under the ingredient like menthol or camphor. So that's the two things you have to address first. Product's pretty tough. Getting brilliant product is no easy endeavor. Certainly we've faced that struggle day in and day out. Fortunately, we've been able to overcome that with highly effective, highly therapeutic products. But the third thing you're going to encounter which is across industries, is advertisement. How do you advertise and bring customers to those retailers? Until you can answer that question, it'll be very difficult to get a buyer to say, yes, we want to carry your brand. So a couple of tips on that. Social media, extremely difficult. Basically all you have is native. Paid, very, very limited. You're basically having to run gamemanship to get through Facebook, Instagram, any of those social media platforms. Really, the only things available out there are going to be television, surprisingly. There's some availability there. Once again, you have to meet cosmetic standards. Very difficult from a packaging standpoint, but can be accessed now. You can do radio. Radio's tricky, especially terrestrial. I'm going to give you warnings. It doesn't work. Our experience. It's because you need high saturation. And who really listens to the radio anymore? If there are radio people here, I'm sorry. Over the top, XM still has merit. We've seen good metrics there. We've seen, some returns on that. And I would say event sponsorship. So events, right? Whether it's sporting events, especially amateur engagement there, takes a lot of commitment, a lot of manpower. But what you can do is regionally, especially key markets, be effective in communicating you're working with national retailers, which is what they want to see. So those are the key aspects of if you're considering that space, or even if you're in that space, how to succeed there. So that's what I came here to share. I hope that adds a little bit to the dialogue, and certainly if you guys have any questions, I'd be interested in taking your questions. I think we have a mic, so if any hands up, anyone need a mic? Nope.
What's your experience with podcasts?
One more time.
Podcasts?
Oh, excellent. Thank you. I actually skipped that one. Podcasts have been very effective. So personally, I've been on several podcasts, Blaze TV's podcast, a couple of their hosts, and we see actually a big spike in our direct-to-consumer business. National's a little tougher because linking in with those retailers can be a little harder, but anything that brings attention to your brand's a good thing. So podcasts actually have a stickier interface with the consumer. Now I've done probably 50 plus affiliate like ABC, CBS, NBC in key markets. Those see little spikes, but not like podcasts. Podcasts are much stronger. But you can also drive people to, generally when I do a interview with a local affiliate, I'll say you can find our products at your local Dick's Sporting Goods or GNC, so that's a higher connectivity. What's that?
Shopify and Pandora?
Spotify?
Yeah.
Spotify or Pandora. We haven't explored those yet. I think both of those are good options. Same in the podcast type. Those are kind of over-the-top podcast stuff. I don't know what their expenses are, and I don't know whether they'll accept CBD brands.
They're great for geo-targeting.
What's that?
They're great for geo-targeting.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you get regional. I just don't know what their policies are if Spotify or Pandora will accept CBD products. They probably will. They will? Okay.
Hey Eric, nice to meet you. Trevor Blair, everybody from Wild Paint Party. We do EDM tours and foam parties, cool stuff for event sponsorship. So thank you very much for saying that. But from my side, what do you guys like to see on a sponsorship deck? Are there certain giveaways at the VIP meet and greet you guys want to see from us? Is there anything from somebody that produces the tour that you want to see on that sponsorship deck when we maybe email you?
That's an excellent question. So if you're working with events, the two things in my experience you want to have, do you have the ability to sample or to sell? Obviously, conversion's key, right? The other thing you want to do is be able to find a way to drive your customers somewhere other than your website. So that's pretty easy usually, working with the promoter to say like, hey, can we promote the stores we're working with in the region? Usually you're not going to get much friction there. So, but sampling's key. Sampling's key.
How you doing? Hey, how do you convince a customer that your product is superior? You walk in a cold call and you're not having suggestions on,
So how can you convince a customer your product is superior? Correct? Is this on the floor in a retailer?
just a local pharmacy situation, or in your local area, you're trying to move your product in a local area.
The number one thing, if you want a retailer to carry your brand, whether it's a large retailer or a small retailer, advertisement. Now your product, they have to try your product and like it, period. If people try your product and they don't like it, you're probably not going to get much buy-in. However, even if they like it and you can't show support for the product, that's a problem. So you got to find a way to advertise. And even just having a good social media presence can't help, but as far as like really driving people, you need to look at even billboards. We've seen effective use of billboards in key markets. Any other questions? There? Okay.
And I just rolled in, so I don't even know if this could be, if it's already been asked. Okay, how do you break through, let's say on a platform like RangeMe, for wholesale agreements with big boxes and major national retailers?
Oh, you really put me on the spot with RangeMe there, huh? Is everyone familiar? Who's familiar with RangeMe? Okay. My opinion, it sucks. It really isn't conveying what you want to convey to buyers. It gives you very limited information. However, I will say this, buyers are bored and they click through it all day long. So having a presence there is necessary to get awareness of your brand. It's like, if you're not there, then maybe you're limiting your legitimization with that buyer. If you're there, then it's like, okay, well that's step one in a 17-step process. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I hope that was helpful. I appreciate everyone out there who's trying to make great product. It's kind of rare. There's a lot of Me Too's, so I encourage folks to make brilliant product, and they have a very good shot at succeeding still in this market. There's still a lot of unknowns, still a lot of opportunities, so I wish you the best. Thank you.